I'm Keith Olbermann, and this is The Resistance. I am confident now, even more so than I have been throughout the last year, that this nightmare presidency of Donald John Trump will end prematurely and end soon, and I am thus also confident that this is the correct moment to end this series of commentary.
Hold it now.
And when John Lewis said he was not a legitimate president,
Yes.
I assume you're on that page.
I am on that page because he's not a legitimate president.
I would agree with that, but he is the president. I mean, it's one of those you have to keep two thoughts in your head at the same time. We do have a president.
Yes.
We are still Americans. He is the American president. I agree. He didn't get there quite legitimately.
But here's the thing. I think we're underselling how the non-legitimately part of this works.
Oh, not me.
I
agree.
But I spoke to a group of Democrats and liberals last night in Florida, and half of them were like this crowd, fired up and understanding. We were invaded, is what it boils down to. Just because there was not blood on the streets.
Right.
If the Russians had come in with Cossacks and put him in, I think we would have had a different kind of reaction to it. That's the reaction we need now. What I saw last night was a lot of people hooting and hollering correctly and getting fired up and going, we're going to resist this in every way possible. And other people going, you really think it's that serious? Yes, I do think it's that serious.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the point. Well, but it's the point of a war, other than to gain territory, is to put the guy you want in charge of somebody else's country.
Yeah.
I'm Keith Olbermann, and this is The Resistance. Any essential distinction between Donald Trump, Putin, Trump, Russian agent, Donald Trump, Meryl Streep, keywords, Russia, hacking, Assange, Putin of WikiLeaks, Trump, Julius Assange, WikiLeaks, Trump, liar, childish lie, Trump hacking voting machines, Russia, Trump hacking, Meryl Streep, Russian hack investigation, Russia, Trump to WikiLeaks, Russian hacking WikiLeaks, Trump in WikiLeaks. He brought up WikiLeaks, Trump's hacking the WikiLeaks. How do we resist this monster? Just keep mentioning Russia. WikiLeaks, the hacking is Russia, and Trump is WikiLeaks. Resist. Peace.
Yeah. Well, you also recently got into a bit of a Twitter thing with Donald Trump Jr.
Oh, my.
A lot of people are, of course, frustrated by Trump's reaction to the terror attack here in New York. But you said recently via tweet that Trump and his family have done more damage to America than bin Laden and ISIS combined.
Yes.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, we did really well after 9/11. I don't think the country has given itself enough credit for what we did not do after 9/11. We did not restrict all of the freedoms in this country. We did not single out people. We did not destroy the
3,000
fabric.
people died on 9/11.
Yes.
I mean, the comparison is absurd.
Well, do you mean the time after?
But more people died in the Iraq War than died in 9/11, and we didn't need to be there.
You
as a
think that
response
bin
to
Laden
9/11.
did less to damage America than President Trump?
Yes.
Can I tell you something? When I hear rhetoric like that, I think Whoopi and I are in agreement that we want Americans to come together. And rhetoric like that is so damaging. And by the way, my brother fought in the Iraq War and deployed numerous times. So before we start tit for tatting, there's a lot of service in my family.
Yes.
So I don't understand when you're saying things like that. Bin Laden was dedicated to the destruction of everything that we hold dear in our freedom. So when you
Perhaps
compare
some people
it to
think
that,
Trump is dedicated to the destruction
I believe I'm
of
asking
things
the question.
to
I believe
other
I'm asking
people's
Keith.
treatment. Well, actually, it was my question.
Okay, so what's your
Okay.
answer? Somebody asked
Well,
the damn
right,
question.
what's the question?
The question is,
My question was, do you honestly believe that?
why is you're making you're saying that going into Iraq was worse than what bin Laden did on 9/11, is what you said, and that's
you
what
believe
ticked her
that?
off.
I do, and it's not about disrespecting the troops in the slightest, or the servicemen, or your father's service,
I'm
which
not saying-
astounds
wait.
me
Well, let him
to this
answer.
day that he was able to do that, and his service to this country right now astounds me, and I applaud him. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying the Iraq War was a waste of these people's lives, and it was unnecessary.
From your perspective.
Well, I think history suggests that the two things didn't have anything to do with one another.
How do people like us find common ground? Because I'm not interested in this sort of because we disagree vehemently on our outlook on the world, and I'm so tired of this kind of rhetoric, and I'm tired of it on the right as well. I'm exhausted with it. I think most Americans can. Do you want President Trump to fail? Do you want America to fail? Because I'm genuinely curious.
Stay tuned for the answer.
Oh, no.
Every few generations, we Americans are called upon to defend our country. To defend it not so much from foreign dictators or war or terrorism, but from those here who have no commitment to progress or democracy or representative government, no commitment to anything except their own out-of-control minds and the bottomless pits of their egos. Our society has thrown up these people before. Joseph McCarthy, George Wallace, Father Coughlin, Jefferson Davis, Aaron Burr, the Know-Nothings, the Blacklisters, the America Firsters. And we have always thrown them out. And now our generation has its own. The most dangerous individual ever nominated by a major party for the highest office in this country. His base wants few details and fewer facts. They just want to burn it down and blame their failures on the collective other. And Donald John Trump is their demonic messiah in Oompa Loompas clothing.
But here's Olbermann saying Trump broke him, he's giving up, nobody's watching him, he's a total caricature. He calls himself the resistance. Gee, where'd you get that, plagiarist?
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We've come full circle to such a complete degree that on Sunday, Trump tweeted a complaint about, quote, Russia, Russia, Russia. The title of the 46th episode of The Resistance from last March 14th was, quote, Russia, Russia, Russia. I've made my point. So now that I think the outcomes, the 7 different inevitable outcomes, are unavoidable, I'd like to go back and enjoy some of my life again, and I'm going to. No illness, no scandal, no firing, just I've said what I've had to say. It was as obvious as I made it seem. I give my work everything I can, so it's not like I can dial it back. And I think even this dim-witted world of American political TV reporting, which is still calculating how to get Trump's idiot supporters to watch their networks, and still waiting for Trump to pivot, even it can carry this the rest of the way. So I am retiring from political commentary in all media venues. This is not to say a bed of roses and reconciliation awaits us. Post-Trump America will be relieved of his prodigious evil, but in its place it will have Trump as living martyr. That prodigious evil and rank hypocrisy and immorality of his supporters, perhaps a third of us, will not vanish with him, and I'm not sure that the democracy has not been damaged too much to deal with their lawless, unprincipled rebellion, and I do not see this country's politics truly healing in the next 30 or 40 years. But at least the bleeding will be staunched. And we will have a chance to alter a phrase I heard somewhere to make America, America again. Thank you for all the kind words and all the support. Have fun storming the castle. My work here is done. Matter of fact, so is Trump's. Resist, remove, peace.
Like this. Hey, look at this! Donald Trump! Donald Trump! It's Trump the Thumper. My God! The hostile takeover of Donald Trump!